sneeze. This poem I'm about to is about where I was brought up, a place I call home. You might know it as Only Hanga. It's called Promised Land. I grew up in the Promised Land, but you would know it as Only Hanga. Felt like milk and honey to me, even though it was bread and butter. I lived in one of 20 state houses, nicknamed the United States of Drama, because my neighbours had domestic violence down to a science like actually favourite genre. My weekends were spent inventing shortcuts by climbing fence. I was like a feline stray making home in the ways, Only Hanga's ways. That became the place of many firsts for me, including puffs, drinks, and first dates. My Saturdays were spent swimming. Jellicoe Pool's the name of my youth. Top diving board even. Used to cost me 70 cents to get there on a bus number 392. Now my bus number 392, not as famous as the telephone number 274. How they make it from South Orcs to a shoe named Chuck Taylor. Never figured how they got so distinguished. But I was always jealous, so out of my bag came a vivid 392 on both of my pairs of British. Hands up if you owned some British growing up. So I'm talking about, man, forget active, British all the way. At the end of my Saturday, it was always the same decision. Do I catch that same bus home, or buy a feed and then start walking? Answer, weak at the knees for a big bean steak and cheese, my belt buckled to temptation. Because food always tastes the best when it costs you your last fortune. Oh, yeah. Ever heard that phrase, lemons into lemonade? Squash that. I could make a 3-course meal out of 1 packet of Rara sachet. We were forced to be resourceful. We used our imaginations. We took some tennis racket from the inorganics and had a baddest afternoon full of cricket. Donald Trump, we were the real apprentice, born and bred with go-get-em in our spirits. Growing up, I was lucky enough to stay on the right side of the cops. Probably because I never got caught. The only time they would come to my door is when my house would get robbed. True story. One time my house got done over by some of my own bros. Lesson learned. Our families can reap what we alone sow. Never be afraid of your humble beginnings. Humble beginnings keep us humble when we start winning. So I pay homage to you. Oranga Primary School, Penrose High School, Dressmart, Rangipawa Dairy, and that person I used to clothesline. We just had really nice Ralph Lauren polos that I couldn't afford. You were my promised land. Like my favourite group growing up, took me from boys to men. So that's the end of my first piece. This one is a little bit different,